Hello family, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you came past my channel, there's something here, there's a message for you. Take it as it resonates. It may be past, present, or future. Alright, my name is Latonya Wilkerson and I'm here to give you a message. Alrighty. Let it be. Okay guys, I hope everyone is doing well. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Alright, let's get into these messages. So today, the messages is going to be about like puppet mastering. Puppet mastering. Puppet mastering is someone who's like straight orchestrating, assigning things, government, order, setting, planning, orchestrating ideas, setting up plans, setting up events, ideas, arrangement, putting things in position, in order. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, that's kind of like example of what a puppet master does. He or she orchestrates things. There's a head leader and then there's someone over top of that person. Okay, so we're going to talk about all about those are involved with this organization, the systems, the criminal acts, and the activities that goes on, like stolen ID, forging documents, probate court issues, medical documentation. There is someone who is in a higher realm who is orchestrating this behind the scenes. Okay? And they have the little people underneath of them doing their dirty work for them so that they don't get their hands dirty, but they're still involved because they orchestrated it. So no matter what you do or how you do it, whoever's involved, they're all going down. Okay? So another thing that narcissists do, they always have to blame someone else and make excuses and kind of like shift. You understand? Shift and alter people's minds. And they can only do that when a person is weak. Okay? Alright, so the first card we have out here is a gate. A gatekeeper. So that's someone who is controlling things, orchestrating things. Someone in higher power, somebody in authority. Someone that finished off the task. Someone that's a post-up watcher. Someone organizing. Collaboration. Doing things together to meet one goal. That's a gatekeeper. Something about the air. Something about the air. Something about the number 4. Stability, hard work, reliable, organized, grounded. Something about grounded and underground. Something about balance. Something about harmony. Something about partnership, gathering together, grouping up together. Something about skilled. Something about gathering, food, events, marketing, strategies, adversities, birthdays, frosting. Something about shapes, preparation, something about edibles, something about gifts, something about flowers, celebration, something about a ring, something about a fox, something about a hunter, Something about Gunther. Something about guns. Something about brown. Something about sweet. Something about honey. Something about traveling. Something with 4 wheels. I heard small guy. Small guy. I heard something about children. Teenagers. I heard about look out. Look out. Something about a nose. Something about a rose. Something about somebody's toes. Something about bad health. Something about spots. Something about lesions. Something about wings. Something about wings, food. Something about a flying. Something about a pilot. Something about airport. Something about casino. Something about money. Something about the letter F. Something about shoes. Something about elderly shoes. Something about stuck. Somebody can't move. Somebody can't move their feet. Somebody's feet is stuck. Somebody's feet is swollen. Something about the leg. Something about fertility. Something about the letter R. Something significant about pink and white. Something about somebody's eyes. Something about the letter B and orange. Something about the rain. Something about a teacup. Something about the letter N. Something about nesting. Somebody needs some place to live. Something about somebody's sleep. Something about somebody's sleep. Somebody's doing divination. Somebody's doing rituals. There's a group that's doing rituals. There's a group that's promiscuous. There's a group that don't love themselves. There's a group that is having anxiety, panic attacks at this time. There is a group of men who chooses not to be honest and is on the down low. There's a group of undercover group of men that chooses not to tell that they're undercover. But it's not fair when you're sleeping around with women and then you're going back home to your wives. That's not fair. Bad health. Bad health. Confliction. Chaos. Misery. Loves company. Drama. Always drama. Somebody's childish. Somebody's childish. Somebody's son is childish. Something about the letter 12. 6 of Cups. 6 of Cups. Water. Cancer. Pisces. Scorpio. Something about a significant Snow White and the 7 Doors. Something that has to do with documents. Something has to do with somebody grumpy. Somebody's sick, sneezing. Somebody's on some cocaine, some type of drug. Somebody's sleepy. Somebody's sleepless. Somebody's bashful. Something about dark. Something about dark world. Something about dark world. Something about somebody wants someone to be controlled by them. Somebody wants to strong arm. Somebody wants someone to be their servant. Somebody wants to always be in control. Somebody's outdated. Someone is a master mind. Someone is a puppet. Someone cannot mind their own business. Someone's after someone else's property. Someone is always in their thoughts. Someone's always imagining things in their thoughts. Someone's emotions are out of control. Someone always has to dominate and abuse and manipulate and steal and destroy other people's lives because they don't have a heart. Someone is confused. Someone has childhood abandonment issues. Someone is ruthless. Someone is cold as ice. Someone is filled of deception. Someone is a manipulator. Someone is a scammer. Someone is always hasty. Someone's always on edge. Someone's always nervous. Someone's not taking their medication. A ringleader. Someone has issues with being always in charge, always trying to overpower somebody. Somebody is aggressive. Something about somebody's toes. Somebody's fingers. Something about somebody's beliefs and their traditions. Something about somebody's beliefs and their traditions. Something about a lieutenant. Something about a lieutenant. Something about a lieutenant influencer. Social media. Government official. Corruption. Illegal dealings. Someone in this group are all working together to accomplish one thing. And that's how are you going to eat? How are you going to take care of your family? How are you going to take care of your family? This is how you've done it for all these years. Why? Why do you choose to take people's lives? Why do you choose to assault other people? Why do you choose to make people feel bad? Why do you choose to take the easy way out? Why do you choose to make bribes? Why do you choose to assassinate people? Why do you choose to be a bully? Why don't you choose to do the right thing? Okay. I understand you don't know how. You don't have the skills. Because you're stuck, you're outdated. It's not cute when you're hurting other people. It's not good when you steal from other people to get what you want. And then it's not fun when you're worrying about somebody else's business that has nothing to do with you. Somebody needs to mind their own business. Somebody is childish. Somebody needs to go heal. Somebody needs to take a bath. Somebody needs to go take a bath. Somebody needs to go wash their behind. Somebody needs to take a bath. Somebody that's always talking about and worrying about and stealing from other people, they need to get their mental health together. Oh my goodness. Okay. 7 of Cups. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Someone is daydreaming. Someone is always in their mind. Someone's always in their thoughts. Someone's always thinking of things that are untrue. Somebody is in their thoughts. Someone's always daydreaming. Someone's always in the clouds. Doves are significant. Reefs are significant. Someone is a snake. Someone is a snake. Someone is a python snake. Someone is cruel. Someone is filthy. Somebody is ruthless. Somebody is worthless. Someone is powerless. Someone is defeated. Someone is unsuccessful. Someone is emotional. Someone is a materialistic. Someone is a rat. Someone is restricted. Someone doesn't have income coming in. Someone's worried and think they're entitled to other people's income. Somebody's always worried about other people's income. Somebody's jealous. Someone is having a difficult time at this time. Someone doesn't have their own ideas. Somebody's not creative. Somebody steals other people's ideas. Someone steals other people's ideas. Somebody is a copycat. Someone is a pick-me. Somebody don't have options. Somebody's losing their options. Whew. Someone needs to surrender. Someone needs to surrender. Someone needs to surrender. Someone was following the wrong crowd. Someone was following the wrong crowd. Someone is going to get baptized. Someone is going to get baptized. Somebody wants a union. Somebody wants a new union. Somebody wants a new beginning, a new foundation. Someone is not satisfied. Someone wants wish fulfillment. Somebody can't smell at this time. Somebody can't move like they used to. Somebody cannot move like they used to. Okay. All right. Ace of Wands. Leo, Aries, and Sagittarius. Someone wants to create. Someone wants to create. Someone is creative. Someone wants to give a gift. Someone wants to create. Someone wants to create a project with someone. Someone wants to give an offering. Someone has ideas. Someone is looking for stability. Someone is looking for a marriage. Someone is looking for prosperity. Someone is looking for their spiritual tribe. Somebody is looking for their home. Somebody's coming back home. Someone is restless. Something will come together. Something will come together. Queen of Pentacles. There is a decision. There is a decision that needs to be made. Someone is fruitful. Someone is kind. Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. Someone loves the finest things. Someone loves fine things. Someone is generous. Someone is overly stimulated. Justice. Justice. Justice is coming in. There is some help coming in to help somebody. There is help coming in to help someone who's been in poverty. Who's been in poverty. There is some help coming to you. There is some protection. There is protection. You have protection. I just want to say, whoever you are out there right now, be encouraged. Be encouraged. Don't give up. Do not give up. Be encouraged. God is going to take care of everything. He will take care of you. But you have to give yourself over to Him. He will meet you. He's not going to just give you anything. You have to put in the work. If you go to a job, you're going to stay on that job, but you have to put in the work. An employer is not going to keep you if you don't work. If you don't show yourself approved, that you are willing to work, that you are willing to put your foot in there and do the work. And you cannot expect someone else to do the work. You have to be the person that puts in the work. If you don't do that, you will never be able to move forward. Ever. You'll always have to depend on somebody else to provide for you. No. This is the new times now. That's the old way. That's the outdated way. Now we need to make sure we can take care of ourselves. We have to start with loving ourselves, taking care of ourselves. Okay? So just know, whoever is out there, that there are some people watching you. There are some authorities, the good ones. There are good authorities out there. And they are watching you. They are making sure that you are okay. So you just continue to go on your daily routine. Know that wherever you go, there is some officials that are watching you. Just like there's bad ones watching you, there are also good ones watching you. And you have your spirit team that's watching you as well. And you have your ancestors who is also watching over you. I just wanted to say something to all those who are in the corrupt systems. You know, it's really sad how you guys took an oath to protect the citizens. And I say this a lot. You do not feel good about yourself if you have to go in to work, strip people by bullying them and manipulating them of their rights, of their free will, taking things away from people's children and their family and their loved ones because you have a drug problem, you have a drug issue. So you use your resources on your job. You have all them resources on your job that's supposed to be productive, that's supposed to be helpful to help the citizens who need the help. But yet you take and put your hand in that cookie jar and you eat all the cookies, and then you take some and you take them home and you give them to your family because y'all don't have no food at home because you misused your resources and your finances. So you want to go around milking everybody else, affecting everybody else, hurting everybody else because you're hurt. And this is what you were used to doing. This is what your traditions taught you to do. And then you place yourself in a church and call yourself a priest. So you got so much corruption going on around you. And then you got people looking up to you thinking that, oh, you're this person who is kind and loving, but behind the closed doors, I would not want to be nowhere near you at all. So I don't know if you know this, but everything is done in the dark. It shall come to light. It will be revealed sooner or later. And when the light comes out, it really exposes everything. It exposes everything. It exposes the darkness. And it shadows it and it puts it out. My light will cover and shut out the darkness. My light will shut out the darkness. My light will shut out the darkness. My light will shut out the darkness. You have taken and stolen so much from me, my mother and my family. You took my friends. You had sex with them. You manipulated people, places, my employment. I'm shining the light. You have to do dark things to get nice things. Manipulation, stripping women, the ones that don't even know their worth. You don't know who you are, sir, ma'am. You don't know who you are. Because if you knew who you were, you would realize that your body is the most precious thing on this earth that God had gave to man and woman for a union, for unity, to express their love to one another, not to go around and sleep around the whole world and then sleep with your daughter and your sons and your buddies and stuff like that. That's not what God meant. You have it that all wrong. But that's what you were raised on. That's how you were raised. And you don't know no better. But I serve you notice today. My mail that you stole, that you rerouted it online. Everything is being documented. Everything. So if you come near me, if you come near my children, you're going down. All your third parties and all your government friends and the Facebook and social medias and all that stuff. It's all being monitored. The stuff that you plotted on my computers and my children's computers, because I do homeschool. I'm going to tell you something. You thought that I didn't have nobody, but it was none of your business. Like I said, I'm a private person. Everything that goes on when it comes about my safety and my children's safety, there's a lot of people that knows. So I'm not going to tell you who they are. And there's people in the system that I know. So they can see everything that you did inside the systems. So I'm just saying it here so that you know. Everybody knows. But they're watching. They're waiting to see how stupid you are to make a move towards me or my children. To make a move. You wanted me to be broke, busted, and disgusted. You didn't want my kids to be able to eat. You partnered up with a lot of people that I was in connections with. You even called people on my jobs, my past employments. I know everything. There's nothing that I don't know. But I'm giving you this exposure right now. I would not continue to do what you've been doing. I would, if I was you and if I was smart, I would back away. Because anybody that's involved with the corruption that you're doing towards me, to shut my mouth up, to shut me down, I'm not shutting up no more. You isolated me too long, and I didn't understand what was going on, but I understand now. So whatever ways you was making your money by having me shut up, stealing my identity, harvesting money, property, buildings, putting up everything in my name fraudulently, signing my name and signatures and stuff like that, working with my mother, my sister, my child's father. Yeah, y'all all came together to take me out and my children, to have my children to be motherless. But I'm going to tell you one thing. All that strength that you used to harm someone else, to cipher and steal when you can go out there and get your own education. You guys thought, oh, I can get away with this. No. You can't get away. Because I'm still here. And there's nothing that you can do to me. But there's something that you need to do for yourself. You need to turn yourself in. You need to turn yourself in. And everything that you didn't took and switched in them papers and stuff like that, rearranged things and signed off on paperwork because you were greedy. You don't think about, oh, you want to eat. You're feeding your family. But you don't give a darn about the other people that you didn't took their money and you went and spun it. You took away from somebody else's mouth. So that tells me that you don't care about your own kids. Because if you was a preacher, and if you was a decent officer, if you were a decent judge, and you said you love yourself, nobody in their right mind would ever do anything sick to take away from another human being. You know, when you get old, somebody's going to have to take care of you. And you're going to want somebody to take care of you and want somebody to love you. And you know what? I just have to say this. Anytime a person is just sleeping around, passing themselves around to different men and to different women, and that's dirty. That's very filthy. That's just so trifling. It's trifling. There's something inside of your heart that is so empty and it's so hard. It's like a hole. There's like a deep hole in your heart. And every time that you're sleeping around with all these different women and men, do you know you're taking their energy and it's just like piling up. Like it's like a car crash. When a car like crashes, and like you hit rock bottom, you can't even think properly because you're not healed. So you got all these possessions of entities and entities all in your mind. You're polluting your mind, your pH balance, everything is off. There's nothing nice about sleeping around, exchanging different fluids and stuff like that. That's so nasty. And you made accusations that I was for the streets. Please. Isn't that what you do? Isn't that what you do? You're for the streets. You made a huge facade because you're not healed. You made a big mistake when you put my name out there, when you put my pictures out there, You made a big mistake. And I don't even go to the doctors. Because you didn't change, you didn't hire some people, and you didn't change my documentation, you didn't change my medical card and everything like that. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. My name was LaTonya Wilkerson. You went and you got connected with somebody in the system and changed my medical information, even the court system. Yes, you did. And by the way, I went to school for programming computer systems. So boom, I just want to let you know, you are busted. You are busted. You're on my computer every day. Every day. Every day. Then you took my name off of different websites where my resumes were on many websites. You watched me on there, and then you took my stuff off the websites. Calling employers, telling them lies, saying bad things about me, trying to destroy my name. But you know what? You just destroyed yourself. Because I'm speaking because I hope that you are listening clearly and everybody else is connected to you. I don't think you're going to have a job because you are not an asset to that job. You are not an asset to that job. If you're using your government job to go in there, use people's names, identities, social security numbers, you have a high position and you abuse that authority and you turned around and violated. Yeah, there's rights, there's amendments. The government makes these rights for us to follow. And because you are a citizen of the United States and you are part of the authority and the team of the government, party governing, working together to solve positive problems, and you're breaking the law and you call yourself playing both sides, no. It doesn't work that way. You're putting a lot of the good people, the good officials, the good judges, you're putting them in danger and you're making them have a bad name. I suggest that you get rid of this man and these women that's corrupt in the systems. Because you've been doing too much, too long, that you feel so entitled, like a child in a candy store. Oh, I want this candy, I want that, and if I don't get it, oh, I'm going to do this and do that to that person. I want you to think about what you're going to do to me. You didn't strip me so much over what? 2003, 4, 5, going on 3 years. You've been doing this to me. Guess what? It's over. It's over. So you can keep sending out people, paying people to come towards me, watching my house, spying on me. You're going to jail. You're going to jail. And I'm telling you, the words and the actions that you have done to me, you're going to have to pay for that. You're going to have to pay for that. And you need to go back down to the, back down to the courts, and you need to make that paperwork right. I'm telling you now. You need to make it right. Because y'all all exposed. All of y'all is exposed. Not one person is going to walk out the way y'all came in. Because y'all all got blood on your hands. And when you came for me, it was the wrong decision. And I could talk about what you have done to me. How my kids didn't have clothes for school because you siphoned from my child's father. My mother collaborated with all 3 of you men three of you men. My child's father. My spiritual father. And then there was a person that I thought I was dating, but here he was sent in to take me out. Poisoned me. Several times. And I'm so golly-ho Joe, I didn't even know what was going on. But when I started seeing the patterns, how my mother treated me when I was little, and then he started doing the little like scarcity tactics and stuff like that, talking to me and stuff like that, then I realized, hey, you know, this is not right. And you sat there, my spiritual father, you sat there. You knew the whole time what was going on, but you got paid by my mother. My mother paid you. So where she get this money at? Because she's on, what is it, welfare? She don't get nothing but, I don't know, about $900 or whatever. So where is she getting this extra money from to pay you and to pay somebody else to be tracking me down and following me? So, and all the favors and stuff, and then y'all sharing y'all little dope drugs and stuff like that together. I didn't know you was into that type of life. Because I don't have nothing to do with my mother. Period. I don't associate with that family at all. Never have, never did. So you got to get them lies together, buddy, because you getting ready to go down. You going down. There's an ending. There's an ending. There is an ending. They need to get y'all bad cops off the force. Y'all making payouts. Y'all making deals with these little prostitution rings y'all got going on and all that stuff. And you trying to involve me in some stuff like that. That's the stuff that my mom do. That's the stuff that you do. I don't sell my body to nobody. That's the stuff that you do, and you projected and manipulated so many souls, so many minds, because that's what you do. That's what you're brought up doing. That's how you get over on people. But I continue to steal from them. But everything you did to me, I am getting it back. I am getting it back. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. You can't go in my computer and continue to invade my privacy. I have 3 phones. 3 phones. And you hacked them all to where I can't even use my phones. And if that makes you happy, then you're very sick. You really don't need to be working. You don't need to be taking care of nobody, especially with the intentions in your heart. You have to go somewhere. And if anybody is listening to me and you know that this man is doing this stuff to people, you need to go get him off of the force, because I'm going to report it. This is my message right now. This is my message. That anyone is sexually assaulting their own daughter, their own son, if the mothers are sleeping with their children's boyfriends or uncles and stuff like that, and sacrificing their kids and paying out payments, no, you don't deserve to have your children. Because you got addiction problems, you need to go take care of that. You can't keep trying to take people out because you have a drug addiction. And I understand that when you are on drugs, you can't feel anything. I do understand that. That's why I never had a relationship with that woman who birthed me. That's all she did. She was birthing me. Because she couldn't do nothing else for me, because she stayed on her back too much. She couldn't even read. She only had a 3rd grade. She didn't even finish school. 3rd 3rd grade. This woman is 60-something years old today. And I will never come and see you. But you can give me my money. You can give me my inheritance. Because all the lies that you and him did together, all that falsified documentation that y'all did together, it's null and void. You got to give me back what you stole from me. And you lied to the court system and told them I was bed bound. I am not bed bound. Never have I been bed bound. Never. Never have I been bed bound. Never. Ever. See, y'all want to know my business, but you know what? My business is none of your business. I don't ask you who you're sleeping with and what you're doing because I don't care. I could care less what y'all do. But when you involve my name and you put my name on the dark web, you falsifying lies, said you supposed to be connected to me somehow. No, you're not connected to me. You're connected to my mother. That's who you connected to. You ain't connected to me in no way, shape, or form. You're a crooked cop. You're a crooked cop. And when the minute you did that to me, I had to cut you off. I had to cut you off. Yes, I did. Counterfeit. Somebody is working with counterfeit money, stolen identity, stolen people's property, false made up accusations, lies, and all falsehood. Everything about them, from their head to their toes, is false. They probably got false teeth too. Just saying. Everything that comes out of their mouth is a lie. They can't help themselves. They cannot help themselves. That temple that they got is corrupted, and I don't mix myself with people. I'm a private person. I don't have people coming in and out of my house. I don't. But if you come to my house unexpected, there's going to be a big problem. There's going to be a big problem because I'm going to protect my kids. Just like you don't want nobody coming up in your house. Yeah, you carry a gun. And I know that. And my mother has 3 guns that are not registered. Yeah, she has 3 guns that are not registered. Why does she need 3 guns? She doesn't work. She don't work on the force. So why does she have 3 guns? Yeah, I think y'all need to look into that. Why does she have 3 guns? I don't go over there. I don't set foot in there. I don't have nothing to do with no type of toxicity. I don't. I learned when I was growing up, she had men coming and going. If that's what she do, that's her business. You can't tell somebody what to do with their body. If they want to be an easy piece or whatever for a hamburger, a cheeseburger or whatever, that's her business. But you're not going to put those projections on me that y'all had put and laid down for so long. To take something that don't belong to y'all. All right. So, 2 of Wands is fire. Leo, Aries, and Sagittarius. Someone is over a body of water. And somebody is blind. And they cannot see. They cannot see clearly. There's some addiction, some codependence. They're trying to move forward, but they can't. They're stuck. They're not willing to do the work. Somebody's not willing to do the work. Somebody's in hangman position. Someone is in a hangman position. They're not able to move past. They're not able to think for themselves. They're not able to think for themselves. So what they do, they harness off of other people's energy. They cipher other people's energy. They sexually assault other people to get their energy aggressively. However means is necessary. That's what they do. Something about the color green. Somebody is hopping from one place to another, from one relationship to another. Some of you got friends with benefits, I guess. Somebody is cold as ice. Somebody's name might be Ice. Somebody might like ice cream. All right. You have a 10 of Wands. Fire. Leo, Aries, and Sagittarius. Someone is unsettled within themselves. Someone has set up so many plans. Somebody has been strategizing. Somebody has been plotting, planning, consuming other people's finances. Someone is in despair. Someone has anxiety. Someone is burdened. Someone is not physically able to carry the load. Someone is not able to carry the load. King of Wands. Leo, Aries, Sag. Fire sign. Someone has false imagination. Someone has false imagination. Someone is an energy vampire. Someone uses drugs and alcohol and women to abuse them. Someone gives off false narratives. Someone is not honest with their self. Someone exhausts other people's assets. Someone violates other people's properties. Someone is confused. Someone is confused. Someone doesn't understand how they just lost everything because you lied, and everything that you put in your hands just slipped right on out because it was never yours. It was never yours to begin with. It was someone else's. And being greedy and jealous and envy of other people, it's not how you do it. That's how you live. But there are people that don't live like that. Don't worry about my finances and how I take care of myself. That's none of your business. None of your business. My money is my money, and you don't need to be in my computers at all. Period. Putting porn on my kids' computers, making false statements like, oh, I've been on the computer, or my kids watch porn. We don't watch that stuff. That's what you have to watch. And you keep projecting those things onto us because you're dirty. You're dirty. You keep plotting stuff, putting things on, and then you're putting stuff on my computer. So that's all recorded. It's all recorded. Your bio coins, the banks and all that stuff, you got that on, and you put it in my name. You put it in my name. Knowing darn well I don't have no money. I don't have no money. But you're stealing money from me. You're making positions and stuff like that with my name and my name and money that you have profited off, and you don't give me nothing, and I don't know where it is. So let me put that out there. So just know this: you're going to jail. You're going to jail. You should have thought about all the stuff that you was taking when you was doing it. You should have thought about that. Ain't no way you gonna keep taking from me and my kids, and we don't have, because you decided you wanted to use your drugs to feed your family, to take care of my mother, feed y'all with drugs and stuff like that. That's what y'all do. I don't do that over here. We don't do those things that you do over here. And I'm not, bragging about it, but you put my name out there in the streets and made it look like I was some street girl. I don't know nothing about them streets. And I don't want to know nothing about them streets, because my mother was doing that stuff when I was growing up. So I didn't want that lifestyle. I didn't want that lifestyle. Begging, living, jumping house to house and stuff like that. I didn't want that type of life for myself or my kids. My mother couldn't offer me nothing. All she knew how to do was lay on her back. That's what she did. And that's what she's doing. And I'm happy if she's happy for herself. My kids will not be nowhere near that. But you can bring back my inheritance. You can give that back to me. The court system, y'all hear me? You hear me? Loud and clear. Yeah, they hear me. Page of Swords. There's an undercover agent, probably one of your friends. You got spying on me. Yeah, you got your friends spying on me. You know you're not allowed nowhere near me. My kid's dad is nowhere allowed near me or my children. So you pay people to come in and spy on me, follow me around where I go, where I shop. Go in my computer system to see where what I'm doing. You're not allowed to do that. You're not allowed to do that. You're not even allowed to go in my medical records, which you have. You have access to my charts. I understand that. If you got a relationship and you love yourself and you happy, why are you all in my business? Why are you worried about who I see? And why are you calling people if I am having a friend or something like that? That's none of your business. But you're going around telling them, oh, I'm in the streets or whatever, so I don't have nobody. But you're out there doing whatever you want to do. But see, I don't need to have nobody, because I can control myself and my emotions. But you can't. So everything that you done did to say who I was, that I'm not, that is all on you. That's your mess. That's your projection. That's your life. You made up all those lies and those stories about yourself, and that's who my mother is. Wrong person. Wrong person. How about you do a blood test, and then you can see who really is what they say they are. My blood is clean. My urine is clean. My body is clean. How about yours? How about my mother? How about that? You can take a hair follicle. You can take a blood test, a pee test, a urine test, and my stuff is clean. Now, what you didn't put in my records, I don't have nothing to do with that, because that's fraud. That's on you and whoever you pay to mess up them files. It's mighty funny. You use your wand for everything else, but you can't do the right thing. You really did a lot of stuff. And now you have to pay for those consequences. You can't hide no more. Somebody's guilty. Somebody's guilty. Somebody's walking away because they know that they're caught. They are caught. It is out there now. They're caught. You have a Knight of Swords, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, air sign. They're in swift movement. They're trying to figure out how they're going to get themselves out of this pickle. Somebody was being fake. Someone was being a drama queen. Somebody is reflecting at this time. Somebody is pulling back at this time. Ace of Pentacles. Somebody is receiving a gift. Somebody is going to receive a gift. Lilies is significant. Somebody is going to receive a gift. Somebody is going to receive a gift of a financial blessing. This is the Three of Pentacles. Someone's work is not completely finished. They're still working on projects. There is someone in this energy who manipulates, who likes to get other people involved in their scams. Someone that likes to blame others. Someone that calls judgment on other people all the time. Someone who likes to compare and compete with other people. Yeah. Someone that likes to deceive other people and make people believe some things that are not. There are some unfinished things. This person likes to plot and plan and orchestrate things and set up things to steal from people. That said, that's the only way they know how to survive is to steal. Be careful who you let in your house around your kids. Be careful. Just saying. Four of Pentacles. It's an earth sign. Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. They're holding on to their pentacles. They're holding on to their Four Pentacles. This person believes that they're unnoticed. Possibly overseas. Heavy man. This person likes to travel. This person is insecure. This person likes to be secretive, hiding money overseas. This person is very secretive. This person may have like different relationships or different marriages overseas. This man likes to do projection manipulation. This man is a lot emotional, daydream, creative. This man feels abused. This man has some child abandonment issues. Nine of Pentacles. Earth sign. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Nine of Pentacles. This woman is secure, material, successful. She's confident, fertile. This woman is content with herself. She doesn't have to worry about anything. She didn't put in the work. So now she's just enjoying her fruits of her labor. Okay? Then you have the Magician. The Magician. That's all he knows, to do divination. to break people's hearts, to break their minds. He's detached. He's not emotional at all. Then you have the Temperance card. Balance is coming out. Peace will be restored. Peace will be restored. She's just focusing on herself and her family. Then you have, let me see. The ancestors are here. The ancestors are here. The spiritual team is here. Spiritual guides are here. Then you have the Eight of Cups. Someone has realized that all that work that they have done, all that deceitfulness, all that workup, the collaboration, the false lies, the rumors, and all those things, the money that that person spent to have people come near other victims, they realized that they messed up. Their plans did not go as well. So it was an epic failure. We have an octopus. Someone has lesions or spots. Someone have lesions or spots. Someone is in pain. Male or female. Somebody is in pain. Somebody needs to go get an x-ray. Someone needs to go get an x-ray. Somebody who was trying to play like they were the high priestess. It's not. It's not. Something about somebody is in bed. Somebody's on hospice. Somebody's on hospice. Something about the color green. Something about the color green. Something about the letter D. B. Something about some food. Corn. Corn. Somebody likes corn. One. I heard the room number is 1B. 1B. Something about a man. Something about an older man. Something about a businessman. Something about a businessman. Somebody's going to get a communication from a businessman. Somebody's going to get communication from an older businessman. Bird. Someone is ready to soar. Somebody's ready to take off. Something about somebody's little boy. Somebody said, do you remember me? Do you remember me? Something about the letter 2. Something about the letter 2. Something about yarn. Something is never ending. Something is unwinding. Something is unwinding. Something about a snake. Something about a snake. Something about a pig. Something about a pig. Something about a pig. Somebody's having a hard time struggling to walk. Somebody's having a hard time struggling to walk. Something about milk. Milk. Something is heavy. Something is heavily burdened. Something is conflicted. Somebody's in chaos. Somebody's in chaos. Somebody is gossiping. Somebody is mad and angry. They're going into poverty. Okay. Something about a cap. Something about a cap. A ball cap. A man with a ball cap. A woman with a ball cap. And something about a baby. Somebody has a baby. Protect the little baby. Protect the baby. Okay. I'm getting ready to almost end this. Eight of Swords. Someone is sick. There's a man or a woman who's sick, who feels like they lost. They feel defeated. Someone is getting ready to get bad news. Someone needs to drink more water. Someone needs to drink more water. Be careful. All right. I'm going to end it here. Thank you. Until the next time. Bye.